Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Bish's RV at the Coldwater, Michigan location, bringing you your regular recall report. I'm glad to get back to some things like this. The last month or two had a lot of different things going on and I wasn't able to keep up with this the way that I wanted to. I rolled this back to about mid-November, something like that, so I've got a decent batch of information here. And if this is your first time joining us, what I do is it doesn't matter what brand it is. It could be brands that we carry, brands that we don't, although at this point, Bish's carries virtually anything out there. But any, consumer health and safety recalls that have been issued, we want to get those out to you so that the number one goal is your safety. Now, these are really handy sometimes if you're not the original owner of an RV and you don't always get those recall notices. Today we have a couple things from the motorized world, a handful from the towables, and kind of a rough month for trucks. It looks like Chrysler has like hundreds of thousands of recalls issued. Well, vehicles affected by a couple different recalls here. If you're a Ram owner, you may want to tune into this one. Up first in the world of motorized RVs, Winnebago has put out a recall on their Echo series. I believe that's called Echo, not Eco, right? I'm still learning some of these things. There's so many brands of RVs out there, guys. Even when you live in this industry, it gets kind of murky sometimes. Some of their 22 Echoes, there's a thing going on with their water drainage system out of their showers and or sinks, where basically water could accidentally dribble onto some electrical stuff. And as my Uncle Gary knows, after the accident, water and electricity just don't mix that well. Next over to the Jayco Integra series. Actually, Alantes and Integras both kind of had an issue where it sounds like some main wiring harnesses were just mounted a little bit too close to some exhaust things, and the heat from the exhaust could potentially cause a bundle of wires to melt. Wires, the coating on the wires gets exposed, you get wires touching wires, and you get all kinds of wires. Yeah. Shifting over to the world of towable RVs. Keystone's put out a notice on some Arcadia fifth wheels. The tire pressure information sticker may be incorrect, and there's nothing actually physically wrong with the RV, but if you went to inflate your tires and you went off that sticker, some of those may have stickers that tell you to put too much air in the tires, which obviously becomes one blowout hazard. Improper inflation is actually the number one cause of tire blowouts on the road, by the way. But also ride and handling safety, things like that could be adversely affected. So they're wanting to make sure that you get a new sticker. That basically, I think they just end up mailing that to you. I'd be shocked if you need to physically go somewhere to just collect a sticker, but I'm just a stupid RV nerd. What do I know? Only thing I know, I need more cowbell. Over to Jayco's toy hauler group, the Octane series. It sounds like on some of those things, a water heater may have been located in not exactly the right position, and it's not being, shielded, vented, directed properly, and it could actually allow a backflow of water heater exhaust. The recall notice specifically states to slip in through a slide out area. I'm not sure exactly which models are affected by that, but again, information over here on the screen, or if you are a 2021 Octane owner, that's something you could make a call on. It sounds like specifically if your Octane has a slide out, you might want to check in on that if you haven't received a notice. And one of the deficiencies I have is I'm very visual, and I gotta see stuff sometimes to make sense of it. Forest River's Impression series fifth wheels, they have a recall out where one of their exterior lights or something like that might have been mounted higher than the others, and I guess that doesn't comply with federal lighting standards. I'm going to guess it's rear clearance and or marker lights that go along the top of the trailer. One might have been offset or something like that. Again, it's weird for me to read that and try to relay it into what's actually on the RV itself, but it sounds like from the 21 to the 22 model year, there might have been a couple of those out there where I guess physically the trailer's not unsafe, but it presents a potential visual hazard for other motorists on the road. Still with Forest River, there's a batch of Cardinal fifth wheels actually from the 2020 year into the 22 season model years on the vehicles that are RVs, recreational vehicles, as it were. You get the idea. Anyway, more cowbell. I feel like on one of those Japanese game shows where like the host is always like looking at the co-host and like, you're stupid, and and hitting him the whole time. Anyway, my wife would love to be that person on this video for me. Rightfully so. Anyway, I'm sorry, squirrel. There's some cardinal fifth wheels whose generator compartments weren't properly sealed. It could be allowing some exhaust from the generator to bleed back into the RV. Obviously a health and safety hazard they want to get corrected for you. Now, over at the Cruiser RV Company, not to be confused with the Crossroads Cruiser travel trailer and fifth wheels, but the Cruiser RV, Shadow Cruiser, and Twilight series. It sounds kind of like that Keystone Arcadia thing where they have a tire pressure sticker that may not be giving you the right information. So if you aired up one of the tires, you might not be putting it at the right level. Basically, some of those RVs just need a new sticker and you'll be all compliant and good to go. Over at KZRV, there's a batch of Connect travel trailers. Sounds like a propane line may have been improperly routed through a wheel well, unfortunately. And obviously, it's too easy of a location for flung stones to be able to hit your lines and to cause a potential leak issue. And, last thing you want is a propane leak when you're going down the road, even the outside. You drive by somebody smoking at their campsite, and then we all end up with a hot summer afternoon. And I probably should have led with this one. I'm sorry. I'm just going off in the order that I printed these things off. Chrysler has put out a notice on something like 224,000 Ram pickups, all of which it has to do specifically, it sounds like, with the 6.7 liter Cummins, where the high pressure fuel pump just may fail. And you could be zipping down the road, absolutely no notice, and the thing just stalls. And that's dangerous for, I think, very obvious reasons, not to mention just inconvenient, but, very dangerous. So they're rolling back the clock a couple years. They're putting a lot of notices out so they can get those things corrected, get you folks safe and back on the road. Also in the world of Ram pickups, there is a batch of 2021 Ram 1500. So if you're one of those owners, listen up here, because there's a little over 38,000 of these that are affected by this. It sounds like when you shift into reverse, the display module that shows your rear camera may not be either displaying or may not be properly displaying your rear view camera on your little dashboard monitor right there. That doesn't comply with federal rear visibility safety guidelines, and that's something that they're going to have to get corrected for you. Whew, a rough batch of Ram recalls here all of a sudden. There's some 21-22 Rams where it sounds like their side safety airbag system may not have been properly pressurized with the right amount of gas, so it's not inflating and keeping you protected safely. So that is another one of those things where, how many was it on this one? I don't see how many vehicles are affected by this. Apologies. I probably should have checked that before I opened my big stupid mouth. More cowbell. But regardless, you need to get your side safety airbag system checked if you're one of the people potentially affected by this. Kind of like cough syrup. I hope you don't ever need those things, but boy, I sure hope you got them when you need them. And keep in mind, like I said, this is not picking on anyone. I happen to have a batch of Ram stuff here, but like I'm weirdly, especially for somebody from Michigan who has that Detroit Motor City kind of like lifestyle around here. I don't know. I'm not real specific on vehicles. I think that if you like a Chevy and he likes a Dodge and they like a Ford and you like a Tundra, you get your own vehicle. You're the one buying it. I don't care. I just hope it's safe and I hope you have a good time. But over at Ford, there's some F-150s where some underbody heat and noise insulators may basically, rattle trap down the road and jiggle loose. It could come in contact with the drive shaft, potentially causing it to fracture. I think last thing any of us wants when we're going down the road is to suddenly drop a drive shaft, whether you're towing or not. Not the way I feel like spending my afternoon on the highway. And finally, our last one for today, there is a batch of, I think it was 2018 F-150s that have either a manual or power release rear tailgate, where it might fail and just randomly bounce open when you're going down the road, like, surprise! Probably not the surprise any of us are looking for, of course. So if you happen to have a 2018 F-150, you might want to take a look at this to see if you're one of the folks affected. And that is everything that we have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, apologies very much that I slipped on these last couple months. did my best to try to keep up with them. I had some time, even though we are mid-transition here, as the Haylet RV store is still becoming, well, we are a Bish RV store, but we're going through all the new paces right now. The way that I've been saying it to folks is it's like, if you want to remodel your bathroom to make it better, first you got to get out the old sledgehammer and smash up the porcelain and make a heck of a mess. And then you got to clean it up, and then you can rebuild it and make it better than ever. We're still in that rebuilding phase right now, but I wanted to really show you folks that we are continued in our dedication to, you know, taking care of you guys, keeping you safe. And please, if you're in any kind of social media group, big RV group, truck group, something like that, if you think that this could help keep somebody safe, please hit that share button or copy the link and paste it into that group and maybe help somebody else, even if this doesn't affect you. As always, we'll do our best to keep these rolling. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.